the red paint cans in their hands sloshing around. They were clearly ready to splash paint and write characters. I stood silently at the door, one hand resting on the doorframe. My eyes, which in their view should have been filled with cloudiness and fear, were now like a bottomless cold lake, so calm it was frightening. "How much is the debt?" I spoke. My voice was still hoarse, but the tone was as calm as if I were asking about today's weather. Huguet was stunned for a moment, then immediately became furious. The feeling of being looked down on by his prey made him extremely uncomfortable. "Have you drunk yourself stupid?" Huguet took a step forward, raising his hand to grab my collar. "Principal and interest, 800,000. Last week, you were already supposed to pay 50,000 in interest. Don't play dumb with me. If you don't have the money today, ill." His hand stopped a centimeter from my collar, because my hand, at some point, had risen and precisely gripped his wrist. Huguet only felt his wrist, being clamped by iron pliers. The piercing pain made him instinctively suck in a cold breath. Let go. He was both shocked and angry, trying to struggle free, but found he couldn't move an inch. "I'm asking you, how much is this week's interest?" I stared into his eyes, increasing the pressure in my hand. My voice dropped lower, carrying a bone-chilling coldness. 20,000. Huguet felt like his wrist was about to break. Cold sweat broke out. "Lin Jian, don't do anything stupid. Killing someone is against the law." I let go of his hand, nodded, and then said calmly, "Give me 3 days." 3 days? Huguet regained his composure and sneered. "Do you think I'm running a charity? If you don't have money, use your wife as collateral. I heard that even though the Great Star Song has retired, she's still quite valuable in the eyes of some bosses." With a loud thud, I suddenly punched the wall next to me, less than 5 centimeters from Huguet's ear. The old plaster immediately cracked, sending dust flying. The skin on my knuckles instantly broke and fresh blood oozed out, but I didn't even frown. I just looked at Huguet and said, word by word, "Song Xingyao is my wife. Anyone who dares to touch her or my daughter in the slightest, even if I have to give up my life, I will drag that person to hell with me. If you don't believe me, you can try." This was said very softly, without any frantic roaring, but it exuded a terrifying decisiveness. It was the kind of realization that only someone who has truly died once can have. Huguet had been in the underworld for many years, and had met countless ruthless people, but he had never seen this kind of look in a drunkard's eyes. It was the madness of mutual destruction, and also the coldness of absolute reason. His Adam's apple bobbed. In this narrow, dark corridor, he felt a chill. "Fine. 3 days. Only 3 days. Before 12 midnight on Friday, if I don't see 20,000 yuan, then you can just wait to collect the corpses of your wife and child." After saying that, he glared at me fiercely, then led his 2 henchmen downstairs, cursing as he went. Until the chaotic footsteps completely disappeared at the end of the hallway, did my tense shoulders relax slightly. An intense pain shot through my right hand. I had used all my strength in that last punch, and my knuckles were a mess, but I was in no mood to feel the pain. I closed the door, leaned against the cold door panel, and panted. Cold sweat instantly soaked my back. That was a complete gamble. But luckily, I won the bet. I didn't treat the wound right away. Instead, I turned to look inside the house. The bedroom door was still shut tight. A faint sliver of light peeked through the crack. I walked to the bedroom door. I raised my hand to knock, but it hovered in midair for a long time. In the end, I lowered it, because I knew that going in now would only increase their fear. The night passed uneventfully. When I woke up, it was 6 a.m. the next morning. I got up, tried not to make any noise, and went into the kitchen. The refrigerator was empty, save for 2 eggs and half a bunch of wilted greens. The rice jar only had a thin layer at the bottom. But this didn't faze me. 20 minutes later, the aroma of rice